All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, what are we doing? We're shooting a commercial. Where? On the side of the road in an abandoned shed. Are we going to use any lights? Nope. Are we going to use much equipment? Nope. Why are we shooting on the side of the road? We're going to talk about it. A strategic decision was made. Let's go into the images. Actually, before we get there, many thanks if you are a Patreon supporter. If you're not a Patreon supporter, you want to see all of these videos and many, many more videos on cinematography, on upping your skills, what you can and can't look for, how to get a little bit more out of every single image that you shoot. Patreon is the place to do it. The link is in the description below. You get these videos well in advance. Looks like at this stage, a couple months in advance, plus a huge back catalog of other little goodies. So I appreciate the support. Okay, let's get into it. This is part of a commercial that we have been looking at in numerous videos. And it's important that I set this up because normally you would never shoot a commercial this way. In fact, I would never choose to shoot a commercial this way. What are we doing? We are in Broome, which is a town that is not close to any film hub. There is no rental gear. There is no crew there. There is nothing. We've gone up to this location, flown up, we land. We could only take what we could fit on the plane itself and carry on or underneath. Where else is it going to be? It's not flying out the back, in some sort of Mission Impossible scenario. So we're not taking a generator. There's nothing there. We have looked at multiple commercials that should be somewhere around this video. Like there should be a playlist somewhere if I'm halfway organized that shows you all the videos inside of a bar. We shot 4 or 5 different ads inside of the bar. On one of the days that we were there though, we needed a different style of scene. We needed preparations of ingredients and we had shot every single space inside of that bar. We needed something that looked different. But we didn't have a lot of time, and we certainly didn't have a lot of resources. So what was the decision? Well, we could shoot outside, we could shoot inside. We didn't have access to another location, so that meant we weren't shooting inside unless it was going to be in one of our hotel rooms, which was just around the corner. Could have done that, actually, now that I think about it. But we didn't do that. We walked outside, and we saw this abandoned building on the side of the road. Okay, so for 2 days, we had been just over here in a bar, shooting for 2 days. And we said, okay, we've got 1 day that we have to do all of the exterior work. So we have a bunch of different shots. I want to say there was at least 30 setups that were outside that we had to get through. And some of those we have looked at in the past, some we're going to look at in the future, but we had lots and lots to do. And we've got 1 in lighting, 1 in camera, a sound guy, myself, producer, director. That's it. What are we going to do? Well, we have this little shed here. And what's interesting about this shed is the director says, hey, I like the look of that back wall. That's interesting. Could we make this work for the sequence? Because it's like a jump cut sequence where the character that is in let's just look at the storyboard so I don't have to explain it to you. I can show you in pictures, right? Because we're not that bright. Pictures help. Okay, we got old mate, Scuba Steve. He's in a scuba outfit. He's going to be making ginger beer. Okay, so he's getting all of these ingredients. He's chopping them up. Then he's chopping up some ginger, and then he's snapping whatever that is, sugarcane. Okay, that's the idea. Can we do this not in the bar? Can we do it outside? You're thinking, okay, first problems with outside is that this place is 1,000 degrees. Super, super hot. You got old mate in a scuba outfit that weighs 1,000 pounds. So not ideal from an actor point of view, but also not ideal from a setup point of view, because if we're outside, then normally that's a lot of infrastructure. If we're trying to make the product look nice, and we're trying to make the product look nice, this is not, we're not saying this stuff is bad for you. If we were doing like an anti-fat campaign, it'd be like, oh, don't eat the chilies. But we're not doing that, right? We're not supposed to make these things look bad. We're supposed to make them look appetizing and good. So that's what we're going for here. But director says, oh, I like this. Well, if we shoot outside, there's going to have to be overheads and neg everywhere and bounce and lots of different stuff. We don't even have enough people to hold the stands that you would necessarily put up for something like that. Even for something as simple as a top-down overhead shot. Don't have it. Not going to happen. So we look at this place and we say, hey, you know what? This ticks a few boxes. Number one, not going to be super expensive on location fees. Number two, we can actually walk to this location from our hotel. So we can, with our 4 crew members, we can use said shopping cart here, and we can just truck down all of our elements. Oh, sorry, we had a production designer as well. Sorry, geez, people. Oh, they're going to get after me for getting production design, right? Couldn't do it without them. Lord knows. So she comes down and sets up the whole table for us. Now, why does this work here? Why would I say, actually, you know what? We can do it here and it won't look halfway bad. Why? Because we have this overhang. You see this overhang here? It's like a porch setup. That overhang is important. Why? Because we're going to schedule to be here when the sun is behind the building. Now, why would we do that? Because look at all this flat light that is here. Flat light means consistent light, especially once the sun gets, because the sun starts here, right, pointing this way, and it's here until about, I don't know, let's say 11 o'clock. So this thing would be front lit until 11 when the shadow from the sun is not going to hit inside the porch anymore. That is our all clear. But it would be better if it was even later in the day, because then the sun behind us in this photo gets even softer. So now we have what? We got a big, giant softbox in the sky that we didn't pay for. That ticks a lot of boxes. Number one, we don't have to set it up super fast. Number two, it's a big, giant soft light. Generally, that's what we're going for anyway when we are doing these types of shots. And what do I mean by these types of shots? I mean, where's a good idea? Maybe this is probably the best one to look at. So this is the storyboard, old mate holding up a map and, ingredients list, and this is it. This is the credit card shot. If you are new to this channel, you don't know what the credit card shot is. This is a shot that you will do 10,000 times in your career if you're a commercial cinematographer. It's somebody holding something. Now, how do you shoot this? What's the easiest, quickest way that everybody shoots this? You put a big soft light over here, you backlight the thing, you put some neg over here, and ta-da, what do you have? You have natural shape. See this fall off between light and dark to camera? That's what you're going for. 99% of the time, that's what I'm going for. And ta-da, it's free. Now you'll notice something. See if you can see why we made these changes on the day. What is different about this storyboard versus the final image? Please shout it out. Well, the ingredients, they're on the ground or they're on the table there. Why are they on the table? Why isn't he holding them up? Any guesses? Because if we come to our location, right? If we come to our location and imagine that the camera is looking this direction. So get rid of that. Camera is over here. This is the lens and it's pointing this direction to get this shot. We're looking at a road of boring, of garbage. And it's also 1 million degrees outside, and it's different. It's 1,000 times brighter because the sun is blasting into this area, right? Just blasting in. Imagine the shadow when we were shooting here. I think it was about 2 o'clock. Maybe, actually, it's probably about noon. The shadow is like this big, and then the rest of it is getting hit with full sun. Super, super, super hot, super boring, not great. So what do? The director and I, well, mainly me, goes up to the director and says, any chance we can just point down? Because if we point out here, we don't have the tools necessary to fix it, plus it's not that interesting. And you know what good directors do? They go, great idea, let's keep moving. We've got 55 shots to get. This is going to be on screen because this is like one of those chopped up sequences. This is like a, maybe a 25 frame shot in the final commercial, maybe. Right? Each of these is maybe 1 second max, like chop, chop, chop. It's all more like a sound effect thing. That's it. So we're going to have to make some changes on the day. Is that cool? We could do this shot. It's just going to take us 30 more minutes to set up. It's going to be a nightmare and it's going to look terrible. Do you want to do that? And they say, no, I don't want to do that. And you go, boom. And they say, have you got any suggestions? Let's put it on the table. And they say, does that make it faster? Yes. And they say, do it. I say, okay. That's why it's on the table. Anyway, back to our location. What's good about this location? The overhang, right? Because what are we going to do? Not only is the overhang good for lighting, it's also good for grip. Why? Because we don't even need stands. What are we going to do? We're going to control the ambient by clipping neg to the architecture. I'm not saying architecture, infrastructure. That's what we're going to do. In here, there's infrastructure. It's got a cool black back wall. We only really want to be looking this way for one shot, which we're going to look at. Everything else, we're going to be looking out for the credit card shot. What do we need for the credit card shot? Big soft light, lots of neg. So we're going to need 3 pieces of neg. One there, one filling this whole structure when we need it. That's it. And then one to go back on the wall so we don't get any bounce back when we're looking the other direction. Now, once we get in there, we can shoot super, 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 super fast. Is it ideal? Absolutely not. But it works. Okay, first one, over the shoulder. What's out there? Well, that is shadow on the ground of the building with the ambient light. What is all this light here? This is all ambient skylight. Why is this dark? Because we took that big white building behind us and we just put neg all over it. What did we do over here? We put neg there. Where did we put here? Neg there. We've created a box of neg with a little bit of ambient light to get this shot. That's it. Boom. Okay, next, moving on. We're going to go overhead. How do you get overhead with no grips, tripod, and a 25-75 head? You lift the thing up as high as it goes. You point it straight down. You tell old mate here to get out of the way, and then you set the frame. And now what is the lighting here? Same. Box neg, box neg, box neg, ambient soft light. That's it. Is it ideal? No. Could we jazz this thing up 1,000 times over? Absolutely. How would you do that? Well, I would look at this and go, it's a little bit flat. All of the wood here is a little bit flat everywhere. Why don't we have like a hotspot slashing through or slashing there or pools of light somewhere just to make it slightly more interesting? Remember also, we're shooting for 239 here. I should just keep repeating that because I forget. I'm showing you, like you wouldn't see this in the final thing because we're 239. It would look more like that, right? Something to keep in the back of your head. We come around to this shot. Now, this shot, why isn't it as good? Or why, I would say, not a huge fan of it. Because we rotated the table around a little bit to point kind of more out to where the light was coming from. But ideally, I'd like this light that's coming in here, all of this, I'd want that coming from that direction. I want it more backy. We're not really getting as much back here. But that's like, again, it's a time scenario. And let's try and fix it. We put neg in here to try and kill some of it. But then we weren't getting enough level through here. And to get more level through here, what would we have had to do? We would have had to rotate the table around more. And imagine there is client, agency, all the other people standing around. We have to get this entire sequence in, say, I don't know, 30 minutes to move the table because it's not actually set up. It's on milk crates or whatever the thing is on. It's not real, right? The art department just brought this cool piece of wood. It's a pain. It's a pain. It's like, ooh, is it a pain enough to move? Answer is no. Like, let's just put the neg in, and you can do a lot in this in the grade. Like, if we want these things to look a little bit nicer, you bring those up, you bring all this down. This is a 2-second window in Resolve to just pull that way, 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 way down. Okay, next. We come to the shot where we have to reverse direction. So all of these, we are looking, if we go back to our location, we're looking out this way. So camera pointing this way, facing that way. Okay. Now, the whole reason we're here, though, remember, is that wall in the background because we need it to look like we're in a different location when Scuba Steve snaps the sugarcane here. So, ta-da. Oops. Ta-da. That's our location. That's that wall in the background. And what we've done, neg, just open up the neg so a little bit of light gets in here and then angle the neg here so at least we get some directional push. Now, is this the most amazing frame? No, but it's interesting, right? Imagine 239. It's like that. It's really about the snap. I mean, this is going to be a 12 frame shot in the ad. You won't even register what is going on out here, but it's just going to be bang, snap, pretty good. Only thing I would change is we can see old mate's face in this. Like if we were actually doing it, I would get him to just angle your face a little bit so we get more reflection on the mask, or in the grade, you could just take that and grade it way, way down because we don't actually want to see the dude in there. Okay, and that's it. Sugar snapped. That is how you do a commercial on the side of the road in 30 minutes. Why did it work? Because we didn't have to bring any infrastructure with us because we could just clip the neg everywhere. We didn't have to soften the light because it was already softened. Had we done this in the morning, I'd be like, oh yeah, we could shoot anytime. It's like, okay. Well, then the producer says, well, let's schedule it for first light. You're like, can't do first light. Okay, well, let's schedule it for 9. Everyone wakes up, they have a nice little breakfast, we get some croissants and all that, and then you say, okay, we can do that. We're just going to have to soften the light. It's like, oh, now we got to bring infrastructure, and what if it's windy? Who's going to hold the stands? Oh, we got sandbags. No, we don't. We didn't bring those on the plane. We got nothing. Well, Let's just wait until the light is already soft. Bingo, you got it. Congratulations, you are problem solving. Okay, I think that is our look there. Anything else to add? No. But is this rocket science? No. Can you do this? Yes. Chances of you screwing it up? Quite high. Why? I don't know. I mean, you're probably pretty good. You're probably great. In fact, I'm not going to knock you. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Many thanks, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.